So yesterday I posted this chart in our Telegram channel, and it is the worst case scenario of Bitcoin, the way I see it. So you can see up here, right now this is on weekly time frame, and if this goes down, I'm going to show you where, it is probably the worst case scenario, right? So this is how it works. Yesterday we did a video where we talked about how high Bitcoin can go, between 140 and 188. In this video I'll show you that that's still the case. Even though we have the worst case scenario, I don't think it's going to play out. And I'm going to show you why. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to clean it up. And first we're going to go over here on the daily time frame. And the first thing I want to show you is this channel over here. And the reason this channel is important is because it is very, very, very bullish channel. So when you see stuff like this, a channel that goes towards upside and then explodes above that, this is actually very, very bullish. So when I saw this and I saw the breakout towards upside, you can see up here, we broke towards upside. I was being very, very bullish, and this is actually a very nice setup for the breakout. So I think this breakout is going to continue. But if you go a little bit back to the weekly time frame, you'll see over here that if this falls back over here towards downside, then the only thing this actually was is a bull trap. Because over here we came to the top, over here we came to the top, top. And then right now, you break that towards upside, everybody becomes, stupidly bullish. A lot of long positions goes into over here, and then you go right back down again, right? So you have a chance to get the less people, bullish before you go down. So over here, picking up bullishness, people think it's gonna go up. Over here, people think it's gonna go up. Then it goes up here, even more people, FOMO in. And then right back down again. So for this to actually play out on the weekly time frame, what has to happen is this white line. So this white line is very, very important. If we get there is actually two lines, the white line and this line over here top, which is basically the same line. So if you see on the weekly time frame this pullback, bearish engulfing candle below the 10 moving average, that is very, very bearish, and we can then start talking about that this part over here is a bull trap. But right now it does not look like that. And the first reason, of course, like I just showed you, is the daily time frame, this channel over here that broke towards upside, which is actually a very, very bullish channel, and it keeps me very, very bullish. That's the first thing. The other thing, we have to invert the chart. When you invert the chart, what you're gonna see here is something very special. You're gonna see, is it on this one over here? No, it's on the weekly time frame. What you're gonna see here is something very special, because right now we are dumping down, or technically, pumping up. But when you look at it like this, we are dumping down, and there is a channel over here. And this over here is a very bearish channel, because when price goes down, by default, it wants to go towards upside after that. But oftentimes, before it actually does this over here, it dumps down over here below the channel. Over here on the bottom side, we have what we call a capitulation move, and only during this capitulation move do we, actually recover and go towards upside. This often happens towards very, very clean tops and stuff like that. If this happens during some kind of sideways movement or something like that, this usually just breaks towards upside over here, breaks towards upside and continue going towards upside. I don't think this is gonna happen, because we are in a, we just broke a very, very special level that's around 109k. That was a very important level of resistance. So the fact that we are right now over here falling down, I think my most likely scenario is breaking towards downside over here. Now, from yesterday's video, we had two main targets. That's 140 and 188 up here towards top. 188. Those are the two main targets. So we're gonna put the blue box over here, and we're gonna invert the chart back. So how this actually works is like this. So when price goes down over here, and there is a lot of bearishness, or in our case bullishness, what happens over here is it breaks towards downside. And you can see over here, exactly over here, when it breaks towards downside, it gets into the blue box. So it gets into the blue box, you might see big wicks towards downside, even all the way down up to 188. But eventually it does this and goes towards the upside. So this might scenario over here for how this is going to play out. And also, like we said last time, around October, I'm always saying October. I don't actually know whether it's going to be October or November or something like that. Maybe even, all the way up until the end of December. But if you see over here, this on the weekly time frame, so it's gonna take a little while. It can, you know, zigzag over here, you know, go a little bit up, but eventually over here it goes to the bottom, and when it goes to the bottom, it just kind of explodes down, and when it explodes down, it recovers after that, goes in back channel, outside of channel, and then it's pretty much over towards the upside. But this plot over here can take you know, a lot longer time. So if you put the moving averages over here, you'll see right now the worst case scenario is getting out of the channel prematurely before we actually do this move. Getting out of the channel right now, that is the worst case scenario, because if it fails over here to get out of the channel over here, likelihood for getting into the blue box and exploding towards the downside over here, because over here it will be massive amount of FOMO, also known as it's not capitulation, but it's euphoria. You know, when stuff goes down and you break some major levels, you get capitulation. When stuff goes up, you break some major level, you get euphoria. So there will be massive euphoria. This also corresponds very nicely with our line over here that goes something like this, right? Because these two tops create this wedge that we had. I'll just draw the wedge if you don't remember from yesterday. Over here, it goes something like this. Over here, maybe a little bit downside, give or take. This is our wedge. Goes something like that, right? It goes towards upside. And you'll see over here again, just clean a couple of lines over here. You'll see over here again, once over here we start going down here, we'll break also the wedge towards the upside and get into the box. So once we break the wedge, once we break the channel, it's pretty much, you know, very obvious that, you know, major euphoria is hitting over here. It's between 140 and 180. I don't know. It might go just a little bit towards upside. We don't actually know how. But, you know, that is the case, the thing that I'm looking at right now. And that's why this this bearish engulfing candle, you know, if it does happen, it is the worst case scenario right now for us, because if that happens, it kind of confirms that, you know, over here this was a bull trap. It confirms that, you know, it's out of the channel. You know, it might go a little bit more down towards here, and then afterward, you know, try again going towards downside, but more likely it's gonna go this way towards the other side. So we do not want under any circumstances this bullish or bearish engulfing candle to happen over here. And in case that happens, we want to right back down inside the channel again and continue over here. So, you know, in a couple of weeks time, we'll know for sure how this is going to play out. But as long as we are inside this channel, I'm just going to move a couple lines so you can see this nicely. As long as we are inside this channel and we are not neither, you know, outside on either side of the channel, we are good. Because right now, we are in a very strong trend that's pumping towards upside, towards this resistance level. And once the resistance level breaks, you know, this is the move over here towards upside, you know, distribution part of the move. So don't get scared, don't fall for the FUD. I'll see you around, guys. Bye-bye.